Hi everyone, this is Ishika Kesarwani and I welcome you all to the TechFit podcast. Today we are having Ketan Patel. He's a CEO at Mswipe Technologies. So we can first start with your introduction.
So, career banker, was with Kotak for 18 years before I took this plunge. Uh, Mswipe is one of the few companies. We are a payment aggregator. We are solving problems as far as the last mile is concerned. So, we are helping the small merchants accept payments digitally, and that's what we do. So, we have around 500,000 merchants who use our devices, and the idea is to take them to 1 million in the next 3 to 4 years.
That's great. Can you tell us a bit more about your company and how it works?
So like I said, we are into digital payments. What we do is we supply those terminals to accept payments through debit cards, credit cards. You must be using a lot of QR codes to make the payments. So we supply those QR codes also to accept payments. So what we are trying to do is digitize the merchant so that he can accept payment through digital ways. If you remember 2016 when demonetization happened and none of us were carrying cash, we were not able to make payments because there was no cash available, right? Merchants were not able to accept cash because there was no cash and there was no way to accept any other form of payment. That's when we started terminalizing all the merchants so that they could start accepting payments using debit cards, credit cards, and then QR codes going forward. And with the pandemic coming in, this has just expanded a big way, because now you don't want to touch any other device fearing that you might get COVID. You want to use your own mobile to make payments. So that's how we are helping people into making payments and accepting payments.
Yeah, that is great. Like literally everything has changed into the digital world. Like I myself, I just stopped carrying cash nowadays.
Yeah,
Anyways,
same here.
yeah. So, where did you exactly get the company idea from, and what was your vision about the company?
So, this idea came from the thought that, cash at some point in time will go out. People will start using digital ways to make payments. And we felt that this is a large market and will keep growing as the number of small merchants keep growing in the country. So, we felt that even if there are 10, 12 players like us, there will be enough business for everyone, right? You're not scared of being out of business, and that's the reason why we started this. And the vision that we have is to be a digital bank focused on small merchants. So we've started with payments. Now we want to get into lending, micro ATMs, buy now, pay later. We also want to help the merchant sell insurance. We want to do current accounts. So the idea is, yes, if you look at it, we want to become a digital bank focused on small merchants going forward.
Okay. So, can you tell us a bit more about digital payments and how were the scenarios before and how the scenarios has transformed in this world and what's the future scope of this?
Okay, so I'll tell you, initially it was all cash. You and I were making payments through cash and accepting goods. Then we had cards, debit cards and credit cards, where you used to swipe your card, right, on the terminal to make payments. Then came a stage where you used to insert the card and put a pin. Then came a stage where you started making payments using your mobile phone on a QR which was there at the merchant's place, right? So UPI has changed the entire ball game as far as payments is concerned. So if you look at the number of merchants who are now accepting UPI as a payment method is around 30 million. We feel that this will go to around 45 million going forward. Current transactions are around 400 billion. In the next 4 or 5 years, we feel that the number of transactions through UPI will be around 2.8 trillion. So UPI is changing the game, and we feel that going forward, credit on UPI is going to be another game changer, which will happen in the next 6 to 12 months. And with that, I think we are sorted for the next 2-3 years at least.
Okay, so that is great. Can you tell us a bit more about the market and how the customers, basically the merchants, can benefit through it exactly?
So okay. So the terminal, there is something called as a MDR. MDR is a merchant discount rate. So when you swipe your card or insert your card and make a payment, let's assume that you bought goods worth 100 and you use your debit card to make the payment. The merchant doesn't get the 100 rupees completely, right? There is a MDR which is deducted, which is around zero point 0.9. So he gets 99.1. He looks at the terminal as a device which is eating away into his profit, whereas UPI is free, right? If you do a transaction of 100 rupees, the merchant gets 100 rupees. So he is more keen on using UPI because there is no deduction to him, and that is why more and more merchants have started using UPI. And like I said, if credit on UPI comes in, more and more merchants will keep using UPI or increase their usage, and cash will keep coming down in the economy.
Yes. So, how as a leader do you see yourself as an ingredient with a bright future, and how do you use your leadership abilities to get the most out of the business? Because you've been running so many businesses, I've seen that you have been the CEO of so many companies and also the head of so many good companies. So, how do you
So,
do that?
the first thing is when you start considering your colleagues as your partners, then you create a mind-boggling team. So I've always considered my colleagues as my partners in the business, right? It's never been a employer-employee relationship. It's always been partnership. My job has been of a facilitator. I you know give enough powers to people to take decisions on their own, and even if they fail, I'm there with them. So these are the things which have helped me do well. I've always believed that I am the sum total of my entire team. Whatever good that people see in me is how good my team is. Bad is my own undoing. So that's the way I think, and that is the reason why maybe I have been a bit better than most of the other leaders.
That is great. I mean, like I went to this one training in which, like, for communities, and in that they taught us how to make everyone feel equal. You know, with leadership, there comes a lot of responsibility. So about that, making everyone feel equal. Yeah, I went through your LinkedIn profile and I saw that you're under the top 100 CEO for the Asia region in the year of 2021, and that's a really big achievement, I feel. How
No, it is
has your
it is
job been?
it is the hard work of 2,800 people which has been recognized, right? I was just accepting the award on their behalf, so it is their achievement. The face is me, but it is the people's achievement which brought me there. So I don't want to take credit for that. It is 2,800 hardworking people of Mswipe who deserve credit for that.
That is great. But then again, congratulations for that. That's a
Thank you.
really big achievement.
I accept
Um,
on behalf of the 2,800 members of Mswipe. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, so you have been to a very long way now. So, what is the most important lesson you have learned over your career that you would like to share with the listeners?
So never give up. There will be difficulties in your life, but with every difficulty, you will also have a way to get out of it. So think with a very clear mind. Don't think with a clouded mind, because clouded mind will never be able to give you solutions. A clear mind will always find solutions. So always think with a clear mind and be ready for problems. Problems are part and parcel of life.
Great. I guess with that, we can wrap up today's session. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time, and to all the
Thank you.
listeners who joined us. And stay tuned because we're going to come up with many more videos like this. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Bye.